Welcome to the Unwritten Rules podcast. I'm Sarah, your co-host, founder, CEO, community builder, and project manager. I have the amazing and beautiful.
Hey y'all, I'm Jazmin J, executive strategist, founder, CEO, and community builder.
And we are here to give you unwritten rules.
Each episode, we're gonna pull an unwritten rule from our unwritten rule jar and talk about how this rule applies to us both individually. So tune in,
Laugh with us,
and let's unpack
the unwritten rules. Woo! A new week,
A new week.
a new day.
Yes.
How are you feeling?
I'm feeling okay. I'm feeling better today. Yesterday,
Okay.
girl, life
What
was
that?
lifing.
Give me
was
some
lifing.
examples.
Yesterday was just, okay, you know how when you got things planned out, you know God is about to show up and do big things?
Mm-hmm.
And the devil knows that too, right? So
Facts.
he was on attack. So yesterday I was just overly emotional. I definitely was. It was regular stuff that I was going through that I always go through, but it just was affecting me differently. I couldn't show up as strong as I normally do.
Mm-hmm.
But so I just accepted that, and I
Right.
just gave myself grace to have a day.
Mm.
What about you?
I feel like yesterday was a learning curve for me.
Okay.
Like being in business, expanding, starting over while being in my own valley.
Yeah.
Like I've accepted where I am and where I'm going, but I gave myself a chance to rest.
Yes.
I feel like we as business women, and I know you're a mom, I'm not a mom yet, but however, I still have a lot of responsibilities.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel mad at myself or regret the fact that I'm saying, girl, just rest.
Yeah.
Like what's wrong with that?
Yeah, I go through that too, and I think that was some of what was wrong with me yesterday too. Is fatigue. You know,
Yeah.
when you're tired, it's just everything bothers you or affects you in a different way.
Mm-hmm.
So rest is definitely important.
You know what this lady told me a couple weeks ago? She said, Sarah, she was like, you're tired. And I was like, yeah, I mean, I go to the gym, I do this, whatever. She said, no, you're spiritually tired. And I was like, I started asking myself this question. I was like, what does spiritual rest even looks like?
Oh,
Like, what is spiritual rest?
right.
She said, your spirit is tired. I pondered on that for like a couple of days because I didn't know what that meant. I didn't know what to do.
That's good. Our people out there, y'all, let us know. DM us, put it in the comments.
Yes.
What does spiritual rest look like? Because that's good, girl. I'm gonna have
That's
to think
good.
about that.
We're gonna save that one for another day.
Yeah.
We're
We
gonna
talk
save
about
that
faith.
one.
We gotta definitely bring that up.
Yes, because that one's gonna go deep. So we do have a question for the day.
Okay, what's the question for today?
So the question for today is what made you realize that the traditional path wasn't for you?
Oh, that's
Do I
easy.
need to say that again for audience? Like, do I want to read that again so
Yeah,
they can
go
really
on, yeah, so
process
it can
it?
sink
Because I
in.
need to sink it in myself.
Okay.
What made you realize that the traditional path wasn't for you?
That's easy for me. What made me realize the traditional path wasn't for me initially is having my children. I had kids really young, so that completely put me on a whole different path than everyone else. But also raising my family up, it got to a point where I got divorced. And I realized that I don't have to do things the traditional way. One reason why I stayed in my marriage so long is because I wanted my kids to have the traditional family, all of that.
How long were you married?
I was married for 9 years.
Okay.
I was married for 9 years. But when we got divorced, me and him committed to each other and to our kids that we will always be family.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And that's been difficult. It ain't always been easy. But I think at the end of the day, we both love our kids and our kids deserve both of us. And we can dictate what that looks like. It doesn't
Right.
have to be the traditional divorce, because even when I wanted to divorce my husband, I would go to the courthouse. They wouldn't even finalize our divorce because I didn't want to put him on child support. Because that wasn't the traditional way. And I kept telling the judge, I was like, I feel defeated because I've been down here 3 times trying to finalize my divorce, and y'all won't let me get out of this situation and move on with my life. And she said, why do you think the government should take care of your kids if you're not even going to make the dad take care of the kids? And I was like, what? And she was like, food stamps, Medicaid. Ma'am, I've never had any of that my whole life.
Right.
I'm like, the government we take care of our kids.
Right.
That's why I don't need child support. I just
Right.
need to be out of this relationship. So all of that experience in itself just showed me that the traditional path isn't for me. God lined things up a certain way, having my kids young, you know, because I ended up getting sick at 24 and had to have a hysterectomy. So I wouldn't even been able to have kids had I been stuck to the traditional way.
Wow, that's deep.
Yeah.
That is so deep. And I think a lot of people don't really shed a lot of light when it comes to circumstances.
Yeah.
Because everybody's life is not cookie cutter.
Nope.
But whatever God had for you, it was obviously for a purpose on why it
Definitely.
happened the way it did.
And I really believe that, like, even where I'm at today as a business owner, as a community cultivator, as a strategist, as a community coach, all of these things take time, right? Had I just been having kids right now, I wouldn't be able to dedicate myself to the work that God has given me.
Right.
But God loved me so much, and He knew that He was going to allow me to do this work, that He still allowed me to have a family. He knew I was going to get sick and have to have a hysterectomy. At 24, you know how many women don't have kids at 24, and that would have been the end of it?
Yes.
I had my whole family already. I was already married with 3 kids.
Wow.
By 24, you know, and it was hard, don't get me wrong, but it was like, I don't see it how I used to see it when I was young. I see it like God blessed me with kids young. Not, yes, it's the consequences of my irresponsible behavior as a teenager, but it was all a part of my written story.
Yeah, I love that. The unwritten rules.
Right? Have kids early. No, I'm just playing. That's not a rule. That's not a rule.
I definitely want to piggyback off of that and say, for me, I knew the traditional route wasn't for me based off of, I'm a disruptor.
Yes.
Like, I'm a calculated risk taker. I will say that.
Okay.
But, you know, my mom had me at an early age. My mom was actually 15, and she doesn't mind me saying that. Like, my mom had me at 15 because of who I am today. So, you know, she's an RN. She's still in school. I mean, she still had the path for her just because she had me and did not stop her life or me. A shout out to mom, you know, and grandma and great grandma. The women in my life are strong.
Yeah.
And I think that's what made me realize I can't follow a traditional path because I've seen my grandmother work for her whole life.
Yep.
My great grandmother worked her whole life. My aunt, she works her whole life. These are the women that have made me who I am today.
Right.
But I recently lost my aunt 3 years ago to stomach cancer, and she still went to work even when she was tired.
Wow.
Because she was only taught how to work. So when I got to college, I went to college, got my degree, but in the midst of me getting my degree, I realized I don't want to do corporate.
Yeah.
I was going to school to be a dentist, actually. A lot of people might not know that, but I was going to school to be a dentist.
You would have came in there to do them people's teeth and they would have just been smiling at you. They'd have said, I met the prettiest dentist today.
Man, listen, don't have me go back and try to get my
I know that's right.
Nah, but like, so I was like, no, I'm not gonna do this. I transitioned over to business in the business department. I had my bachelor's in marketing, and I started selling hair. I was the hair dealer on campus. I was leaving school selling hair. Got my body sculpting certification. I started doing body sculpting. I opened up my own studio, all at the age of 21. So when I realized that I'm making a check that my family was making in 30 days working for myself, I realized, I said, yeah, I'm definitely not finna use this degree. I'm finna use it for myself.
Yeah.
But the whole point is I like freedom.
Yeah.
My family never experienced freedom. We work so much, or they work so much their whole entire life, they don't know what vacation looks like.
Yep.
Having a vacation feels like luxury when it should be a part of life.
Yes.
And I feel like life shouldn't be like that.
It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. And you know what? You talked about all the women around you that work so hard. I was reading an article, and it was saying that women who have been raised by women, like hardworking women that work hard and all of that, like it creates resilience in the children that they're raising.
I love that.
You know, and that a lot of times if you're a product of a hardworking woman, you typically become like in a leadership role or just like can kind of figure things out. And I thought about that. Like my mom is her business. She's been an entrepreneur, or she's had a business for 30 years.
Wow.
30 years. That's a long time.
That's a long time.
And I've seen her build that from scratch.
Wow.
From nothing. So, and then I look at myself and what I'm doing, and it's just like, okay. And it gives me hope for my kids, you know, because they see me putting in that work and everything that I have to do. And then my oldest daughter, seeing her start her business, I'm like, okay.
Right.
You know, it's a lot, but you gotta pave the way.
That's true. And I've accepted the fact that I know I'm the chosen one in my family lineage, because I realized that sometimes our family or our loved ones accepted things that they shouldn't have accepted,
Yeah.
but they didn't have the tools or the capacity to do it because everything has been out of survival.
Yep.
Whether that's building a business or whether that's in a relationship or a marriage that you really don't like or love, and you lose yourself in the process because you're just surviving.
Yep.
You're just existing to do what needs to be done. You ain't got time to sit back and think and worry about what's my escape plan to get out this marriage, what's my escape plan to get out this job, because you moving and you grooving and you doing what you need to do to take care of your family.
Yep.
So with me having the opportunity to have that freedom, I'm able to take a step back and think and say, what does Sarah want?
Yeah. That's crazy, because even me, like I told you, having kids young, I started working at 17. I never had the opportunity to sit down and slow down and see what I really wanted for my life until COVID.
Wow. COVID, that was like 5 years ago.
Exactly. So from 17 up until then, I was on go because I had one kid, then I had another kid, then I had another kid. You know what I'm saying? I just kept making my life to where responsibilities just kept adding up, and that's most important to me. So I was just on go, 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 go. And then when COVID hit and the world stopped really and everything slowed down, that's when I found my purpose.
Wow. That's when you found your purpose. So what is your purpose?
So yeah, I'm still trying to figure out how to put it in words. For real. For real.
That's
I
real.
feel like I have a gift, right? I feel like
Yes.
that I can see the best in people, right? And that's because I see the best in myself. But I can see the best in people, and I have a gift of wanting to bring people together and cultivate with
You good
community.
at that.
And that's why God gave me the name. He gave me the name Community Cultivation
Wow.
Network. I had to Google to make sure it even
Yeah.
made sense. I'm like, you grow the net, okay, but that's really who I am. I'm a
Yeah.
cultivator. That's my gift. Like I'm a nurturer, just like a mom. Anything that I touch, it grows.
That's my saying. I always say that, which is why I like wearing gold and golden, is because I truly do believe everything I touch turns to gold.
Girl,
And
I
that's
thought you like wearing that because you was on your queen shit.
I mean that too.
Okay.
But
Okay.
I just believe everything I touch turns to gold, and that's an affirmation that I live by, that I stick by. And I think I want us to basically say, why do you feel like we needed to come together and talk about the unwritten rule? Like, for example, I feel like my purpose is, I know God placed me on earth to heal.
Yep.
And I heal in all ways that I can, whether that's family and business. Outside of beauty, I started doing property management and project management, right? But I'm still solving a problem in the real estate industry.
Yep.
But I'm doing God's work. My purpose is to solve problems and help people with their situations within real estate, right?
Yes.
So I know that we're like two different age groups, and we have two different industries coming together on this couch with this Unwritten Rule podcast.
Right. We are in two different age groups, girl. Jesus.
Look, not to put it out there like that.
It's all good.
I mean,
that is true.
It's a compliment. Yeah,
definitely. And it shows how God brings things together, you know. But as far as like the unwritten rule, right? And that's why I love that God brought us together, because I feel like we're both doing the path that God put us on and not worried about the traditional ways.
Yes.
Just like that question, like, I'm on a path. When God gave me that vision, I was scared because I had my career, like my life was going a whole different path. But when he gave me that and he started showing me how to get there, I recognized it was much different than what society said it should be. Me as a 37-year-old woman who had 3 kids by the age of 23, I'm not supposed to be here like this. You know? But it's trusting him. That's the rule that I'm going to follow.
That
what
part.
He gives me, he gives it to me, then that's what is going to happen.
That part.
Regardless if society says it's okay or not.
Right.
And then when you're like that and you know that about yourself and then you see it in other people, I mean, it was a no-brainer when we first got together to realize that we are women from 2 different backgrounds, 2 different age groups, but we're on the same type of time.
Right. I agree. So I feel like for us to continue to show people what that looks like, I think they need to follow the unwritten rule. I don't know, you want to call it category, you want to call it group, cult, I don't know what you want to call it, but it's a movement.
It's a movement.
It's a movement.
It really is.
You know?
It really is a movement. I don't know what you want to call it either, and maybe as we go through this podcast, we'll figure out what to call our community of people who don't mind writing their own rules. You know, we'll figure out what to call them, but it is a movement. And
Yes.
I think that the reason we created this platform was so that people can know
Yes.
that it's okay to write your own path.
Yes.
It's okay to go against the norm.
Yes.
It's okay to do something different.
Different. Like, nothing wrong with it. I love being different.
Yeah, me too.
I love being different. I don't want to look like nobody else. I want to look like Sarah.
Yep.
That's the reason why my tattoos and everything is so uniquely me.
They are. They really are. I never noticed you had a tattoo on your whole leg till you came to the show that time.
Yes.
And I'm like, oh, you wasn't playing no games.
Really like that.
Really like that. And you talk about difference, girl. Let me tell you, when I was younger, right? God knew I was gonna be different. That I was. I think I was in 3rd grade. I went to school and I took the school pictures. Pictures come back. One of my eyes are looking at the camera, and my other eye
Jazmin.
is no. We got to talk about it.
Oh my God.
My other eye was floating, like it was not where it was supposed to be. Now you have to think, I'm 8.
It's the way you said it.
Because that's how it was. This my eye. I've been with this eye my whole life. So to not know that it did that until a school picture. You see what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I didn't know I had a wandering eye, lazy
So did
eye,
your
whatever
parents
you
tell
want
you
to call
that?
it.
No.
Nobody told me nothing. Maybe they didn't see it.
Or maybe they didn't want you to feel like something was wrong or something. Like,
if they did that, they out of line. Like, tell me what's going on so I'm self-aware. You know?
Right.
But when the picture came back, I don't think my parents knew because we all were like looking at the picture like maybe it's the camera, you know. And then I started noticing it.
Wow.
That I had a wandering eye, you know, and it was just like, ugh. But I only felt like, ugh, for 2 seconds, girl.
Wow.
After that, I was like, because the picture was a pretty
picture. I
picture.
bet you was a spiritual meaning to it.
I don't know. Maybe I need to look into it. But it's been a part of my life this whole time.
And that's what makes you you.
And I've never felt no type of way about it. I still show up confident. I mean, I still
fine. Still big fine at that.
As long as
that part. Toast on that.
Hey,
look.
For sure. But it showed that I was different. And it taught me how to deal with being different. Because even though I was comfortable with my eye, let me show you how people would talk to me. So say you're me, right? And you talking to me. They do like this.
What?
To see who I'm looking at.
Yeah.
So that's how I know when my eyes doing it because they trying to see who I'm looking at. And I would just smile and I'm like, I'm talking to you. You know, and I just blink.
Yeah.
Bring it back or whatever. And I had to learn how to do that at a young age. So now when I'm grown who I am today and the things that I'm doing is very much different. Wow. It's a lot of people who support me, but there are people who like got their opinions.
Yes.
It doesn't bother me because I've been having to deal with people and their opinions or their lack of understanding of who I am because of things that they see.
Right. And I think that just comes with perception because a lot of people project their own insecurities on other people. And I think what's not talked about enough is pretty girl privilege or whatever people want to call it. Like us, we were pretty women, but we don't operate as a mean girl attitude.
Oh, yeah.
And it's been plenty of times even in high school where I've been, you know, perceived to be a part of this high sedity material type of person. That's never was me. Like I was the type of person, I was thugging it in high school. I was selling chips, I was selling candy, I was a snack lady, and I make my little money and I mind my business.
I know that's right.
You know what I'm saying?
I know
but
that's right.
Other people still gonna come and try to start something, do something, you know. But I like to prove to people that you don't have to be what society made you.
Exactly.
You know.
And they, as you as a pretty girl, they try to make you what society sees most pretty girls, a mean girl.
No.
It's like that's not me.
No.
I'm chilling.
I'm Sarah.
Yep.
Simple. And I think that's the question I want to ask us is, what's an unwritten rule that you had to unlearn or redefine?
Ooh, an unwritten rule that I had to redefine.
That's a good question.
That is good.
That's a good question.
So, okay. I was raised, my parents separated when I was 2. They divorced when I was 2 years old. I was raised by my dad. So I have developed just masculine things just because that's who raised me. So if my dad was doing something as this kid, I thought I was supposed to do it too. You know, and growing up in my era, that wasn't okay. Like girls should be girls, you know, if you was a tomboy, they automatically thought you were whatever, you know. I think what I had to realize was I am who I am.
Right.
Regardless if I'm very feminine, if I have masculinity, or if I go back and forth. You know, I could show up in any room and
Right.
be a part of that room and not code switch. I'm not
Yes.
saying that.
Right.
I'm saying I could show up as Jazmin
Right.
in any room, whether it's all the fellas, if it's the ladies, if it's co-ed, if, you know, whatever the
Facts.
case may be. I can show up in that room, and I think the rule that they tell you is, hey, you got to be this way or you got to be that way.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be
Mm-hmm.
feminine or you're a tomboy and you're gay,
Right.
whatever they want to
Right.
call you. I didn't go by that. I went
Yeah.
by who I am. When I'm at home, I'm watching sports.
Right.
I love to get up on Sundays and watch football with my dad.
Right.
I want to watch soccer. I mean, that's just how I was raised in my home.
Right.
So this is who I show up as every single day.
Right.
So the biggest thing was just writing a rule that hadn't been written to say it's okay to be 100% yourself, even when society doesn't accept it.
I want to add to that because I think when it comes to relationships,
Girl, talk about it.
when it comes to relationships and how people have defined you should be this, you should be that, whatever the case may be, I don't think you have to go through survival or struggle love to be okay or to be like, I don't know how to put it into words, but it's kind of like I've seen women close to me lose themselves because they
Yes.
got attached to the wrong person.
Right.
And as we continue to grow and as we continue to do what we're doing, you know, we can't afford to be in a wrong relationship. We can't afford to be in the wrong marriage,
Yep.
right? And so we all done been there. Like I always say, I might have been young and vulnerable, but I ain't never been young and dumb.
Yeah.
I don't have to knock my head too many times to realize something is wrong.
Yeah.
You know? But I just think that we don't have to struggle to find what sings to our heart and what belongs to us.
Yeah.
You know, and so I think for me right now in my relationship or my dating status is I'm staying committed to my standards. I'm staying committed to my standards.
I know that's
I like
right.
what I like. I like what I don't like. And if a person don't get it, then that's fine.
It's okay. You know, and I think when it comes to dating and things like that, from my perspective, I'm the same way. Like I've been married, I've been divorced, I've dated, whatever. I know exactly what I want out of a relationship. I know how I want to show up in a relationship, and I'm a Leo.
Yeah.
So when I'm locked in, it's over the top. You know what I'm saying? Like I have no chill. And I had to realize that though. But now that I know that about myself, I'm okay with holding back. I'm okay
Right.
with sitting in the cut and waiting to the right relationship. Because like you say, when you align yourself with the wrong things, you pay for that.
That's true.
You know, and I've been there, man. I was in one relationship that I just couldn't. No matter what I tried to do, I could not get myself out of this relationship. You know, it was like, even if it wasn't the happiest days, I would tell myself, oh, making excuses or whatever the case may
Right.
be. But then I realized, like, okay, you love this person, like hands down. You love this person, and that's okay. And you can love this person without being with this person. And I think before, it was either I love you and we got to be together, or if we can't be together, I hate you, don't call me.
Right.
That never worked
That's
for me.
So yeah.
It never worked because when I hated you and you didn't call me, I was still feeling some type of way,
Right.
you know. And I had to just straight up go to God, like, what is this? If this isn't my husband, this isn't who you want me to be.
Yeah.
With, why do I still feel this way?
And
about
that's why I
this
like
person?
what you said earlier when you said that you and your ex-husband committed to still, you know, creating a healthy relationship for the kids.
Yes.
That's not, you don't really see that nowadays. It's either, oh, we ain't together.
Exactly. And that's what was so different, you know. And that's me with all of my relationships. My
Yes.
ex-husband, I haven't had many relationships, but the few that I've had, I didn't handle the relationships how society says. Like, if it
Yeah.
didn't work out, this person, you have to hate them. You have to, no. If I spent years of my life with this person, pouring into them pouring into me, it's okay if we're not supposed to be together forever.
Right.
That doesn't mean that we have to hate
Each other. Right.
And that's what I had to learn with dating. And
Right.
that's why anybody that I've ever been, if I told you I loved you before, we still friends to this day
Yeah.
because I got love for you and it's no
Yes.
hate. Because if it's no alignment, it's just no alignment. I can't be mad at you for that.
I mean, even in dating, I mean, I could tell a person, okay, cool, I'm finna go ahead and I think right now it's not in our best interest to move forward today or whenever. A person will literally just be like, Okay, that's fine. We'll have a good life. I didn't say we couldn't be friends. I'm just
Right.
saying right now we're not in alignment. So right now is not the time.
Exactly.
So people don't. I think what's lacking is emotional intelligence.
Yes.
I think that's what's lacking. I think
Yes.
emotional intelligence is lacking, and it's causing us not knowing how to build a relationship, whether that's in business, friendship, whatever the case may be. You know.
And I think that another unwritten rule is that as women and as humans, period, you got to know when you got to go work on you.
Mhm.
Every relationship, whether it's a intimate
Ooh, that's a good
relationship, a
one.
friendship, whatever, it can't always be
Mhm.
everybody else's fault.
Mhm.
This didn't work because
That's true.
that nigga don't know what he got. He don't know how
Yeah.
to hold. No, you played a part in that, and that's
No.
what I had to realize. So any relationship, that
Mhm.
I'm in, I always see what part did I play and what did I learn from this person.
Right.
Take that and move on. It's okay
Yes.
to let go
It's
and
okay to
move
let go.
on.
It's okay to let go. And I think when it comes to business, I teach women how to structure
Yep.
their business. I teach women how to strategize in business, right? But I think when it comes to business structure and strategy, you also need to structure your internal system as well. Whether that's shadow work,
Yep.
whether that's, doing some breathing exercises,
Yep.
whether that's exercising something, but all of it plays a role in the way that you think.
As you already know, like with my community, I do the same. I help women and not just women. I help founders and CEOs strategize in 6 different areas of their life so that they can truly build legacy.
Mm-hmm.
So with that, it's like I teach them. Majority of it is about you.
Yeah.
It's that simple. It
It's
don't
that
have nothing to
simple.
do with nobody else. So I started a community called Strategize You, meaning you. And
Mm-hmm.
then you standing for your operational understanding. Like you have to understand, especially about business, like how this operation is supposed to work so that you can reach these goals.
Right.
But once you really look down at it, the whole operation is standing on you.
Mm-hmm. Right.
The only thing that can stop you from getting to your goals is the person in the mirror. No
Right.
one else.
That
No
part.
one else. I don't care. Your boss, whoever is making life hard, your kids, whatever. The only thing that stops you from reaching your goals is you.
Is you. And I think for me, with my community, and it's so crazy how it aligns.
I
And I
know,
think we
right?
need to collaborate. We were already collaborating, but
Bring our
we need to
communities
do
together.
something.
Have a
Because
community party.
when it comes to the money mindset and ministry part, when it comes back to the mind, the whole goal is to rewire the subconscious mind so that you can attract what it is that you want.
Right.
I done burnt out in business before.
Yep.
I done burnt out plenty of times.
Yep.
I done been through imposter syndrome. I done been through depression, and I had to rewire my subconscious mind in order to attract what I need, not chase after it.
Yeah.
I was chasing money. So when I was chasing and hustling, everything was going in circles. I said, this ain't adding up. What's going on?
Right.
It wasn't because my mindset wasn't in the right state. What was wrong was I was taught the wrong way.
Yep.
I was taught to survive. I wasn't taught to invest and multiply.
So if you're taught the wrong way and there's a new way that you have to learn, it's you,
Yes.
right? You had to realize, okay, I was taught wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You have to rewire your mindset
Yep.
to be open enough to get the information.
Exactly.
And that's why you're different.
That's why they gotta wait for these other episodes because
It's getting juicy.
It's getting too juicy. We done talked about self-care. We done talked about unwritten rules.
Yep.
We done talked about a lot of different things, but I think that's what's gonna make this conversation so powerful is because
Definitely.
it's just so many good things that these people need to hear. Our people need to hear.
Definitely, we need to hear.
Yeah, shit, we need to hear it too.
for sure.
Shoot.
So I'm definitely excited about the season. Like you said, we are going to talk about a lot of different things, and I think that with us kicking this show off and people just getting to learn us and our personalities and like how we even came together. Sarah.
Yes.
How did we get here, Sarah?
Shit, how did we get here? You know what? Connections.
Oh, yep.
Chris introduced me to you.
Yep.
And then ever since then, it's like we just been locked in. Every time I see you, you always happy. Even if you got a lot,
You didn't see me yesterday.
even though you got a lot of stuff going on. Because when I walked into your building and I said, I was lost for words. I was like, wow. You'll be there, you're present, even though you still running shit. You know what I'm saying?
I'll never forget, you told me that one time you walked into this building and I think it was for my birthday when you came to the poetry show. You was like, just your presence. She was like, I felt your energy as soon as I walked through the door.
Yes.
And it was like 200 people in here.
It was more than 200 people, actually. And you was sitting down, legs crossed, still handling business like you was El Chapo. I mean, I'm just saying. Like, I mean,
Not I'm giving mafia vibe.
you were still calling shots,
Yeah.
even though, but you were still present. I think that's a lot of things that a lot of people lack when it comes to leadership.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people are entrepreneurs, but a lot of people are not leaders.
Yeah, and see, leadership is selfless, and that's what people don't understand.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are selfish.
Yep.
And, you know, it's like, how are you going to lead somebody if you don't even care about their well-being?
Exactly.
You know, I was talking about this earlier. I'm like, hey, when it comes to leadership, you have to actually care about what you're leading.
That's true.
And that is what changes you from just being an entrepreneur to actually being a CEO,
Yes.
growing a team. That's a whole different ball game.
That's a whole different ball game. And I actually looked up the definition of boss.
And what
boss
you get?
means managing people.
Yeah.
Which means anybody can be a boss.
Which is why I don't refer to myself as such.
Yes, me neither.
I never like, yeah, I'm on my boss stuff. I'm not.
It just don't hit. It don't hit. After when I learned it, I was like, okay, that's what boss mean. Nah, I'm not a boss. I'm a leader.
And real leaders don't speak leadership with their mouths. They speak leadership with their actions.
Ooh, talk that talk.
Girl, when you know somebody is a leader, you can tell by, like you say, the way they move, how they get stuff done, how the impact they having on other people.
Exactly.
When you recognize how good I'm a leader, how good my leadership is, you're gonna see that through the people I have the privilege of leading.
That part.
So once you see how their life and what they got going on under my leadership, that's a proof of my leadership.
Right, even within the household.
Starting with kids.
Yeah.
You know, I always tell people, I recently wrote a ebook. And the first chapter talks about my introduction to leadership was becoming a young mom. Because I had to lead my kids, and I started instilling leadership in them to this day.
Right.
Now, in this generation and all the things that's going on, I have worries as a mom like every other mom. But there's certain things I don't have to worry about. With my 16-year-old son, there's certain calls I don't have to worry about getting.
Yeah.
It's just that simple. Because I know who he is, I know what's been put in his head, and I know who we've trained him to be.
Right.
Is he perfect? Hell no. He's actually a little lazy, and I want my son to do better. I love you, son. But as far as leadership and his mentality, God got a plan for him.
And I will say, I appreciate my family for teaching me how to be a self-sufficient woman.
Yeah.
They might not have taught me how to doing what I'm doing today as far as running a business.
Yeah.
But they taught me how to get out there and make myself valuable. And because of that, I took what they gave me and I made it better by becoming a leader within myself. I told my family the other day, I said, I think we need to have a round table family meeting.
I know that's right.
Because right now, everybody got their own things going on. I got a little brother, he 19, he going through his valley. He walking around mad at the world. He ain't saying nothing. I got discernment. So I know when something a little different, something a little off.
Yeah.
I'm like, something ain't right. What's going on?
Yeah.
So I said, we need to have a family meeting.
Yeah.
And I had to call that meeting. I got my grandma at the table, my great grandma at the table, my mom, everybody sitting at the table. And I said, we need to talk about it. Because we got to get through this valley.
That's an unwritten rule. Where back in the day,
right?
You know what I'm saying? Is the granddaughter of the family gonna pull everybody in and say, "Hey, come on, grandma, come on, mama, come on, ain't it?" They're gonna be like, "Stay in the child's place and sit down somewhere. This grown folk business." That
man.
But in 2025, that's what it takes. I did the same thing during COVID, like the birth of all of this. I brought my family together, and my parents have been divorced since I was 2.
Man.
And people don't believe that. When they come in our space and they see my mom and dad working together, they're like, yeah, your parents. I'm like, they not married. I'm like, they didn't even like each other.
Yes, but it's necessary. And I feel like as the chosen one in the family who is the core, building out these pillars, it's kind of like, I need support.
Yeah.
And I need us to talk. And I need y'all to know, it may appear like I always have it together, but sometimes I don't.
Now, that's important, Sarah. You hit something on the head, and I think that's something important to talk about with our audience is it's okay not to have it all together. Like I was telling you about my day yesterday. Yesterday, I did not have it together. I was not the strong CEO that everybody's used to seeing. I was just trying to get through the day.
No, facts.
Just get through the day. And that's okay. And it's okay to have the moments where it's just like,
whatever. It is what it is.
But it's not okay to stay there.
It's not okay to stay there.
That's the part that I feel like shows our resilience and shows who we really are as women, as business owners, as African Americans. Like you gotta bounce back. I was telling somebody earlier today, I'm like, all this, the lady down the street at the donut shop. I'm like, all this that's going on with the world, I'm like, I'm not gonna say I don't care, because I am aware of what's going on in the world, but it doesn't affect my mentality and my
No.
life on what I have going on. Like,
Same. It won't.
it
It
never
doesn't.
did.
It never did either. I don't even partake in conversations that got some, oh, we in a recession. Oh, this is like, honestly, I have no control over it.
Right.
And I feel like I'm less stressed when I know that I'm not trying to control something that my hands can't do nothing for. Like, it can't do nothing. I can't change
And
what's
that's
going
just
on.
what the lady said at the donut shop. She was like, what are we gonna do about it?
What can we do?
You have two options. You can put your strategy in place and continue to produce and follow what God has blessed you with.
Yep.
Or you can become fearful, go into a little cocoon, and let life pass you by.
Exactly.
And I'm not doing that.
No.
I'm not doing that. Just like when COVID hit, I felt like when COVID hit, it split the world. It's a lot of health things that happen. I'm not taking anything away from that. But as far as business wise, when COVID hit, you either got wealthy.
That's true.
Or you was down bad.
That's true.
But the difference was what you decided to do during that time.
Exactly.
People like me during COVID, you talking about internet learning. What?
Man, what? I was selling waist trainers, and I was making good money selling waist trainers online.
Okay, what did you not sell, my girl?
I
sold candy, canned goods, houses, hair.
I mean, at that time, I was in the beauty industry real heavy. So at that time, I think that was 5 years ago. I was like 23. So I was doing body sculpting. I was getting everybody waist snatched. People was coming to my house during COVID getting their body done.
I know that's right.
Ain't had no waist trainers on deck. So I was still making money. I'm happy that I was still able to make money even when the world was shut down, because people were still buying them waist trainers.
Baby, because they couldn't wait to go outside.
They couldn't wait to go outside. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, the gym may be closed, but you can still get this waist snatch. What's up?
Oh, man.
What's up?
I was my smallest during COVID.
Bro?
Yeah, because I would get up and go walk 3 miles every morning. Because that was my, like, I got to get out this house. So I would go walk every day, 3 miles with my friend, Kim. Shout out to Kim. We would go and work out, and Kim is like, pow, like she was already put together. Yeah. And I would just go with her every day. And then I looked up, girl.
Man.
My neck was so long.
Girl, I'm done. You said your neck was long.
My neck was extremely long. It was giving giraffe.
I'm trying not to overly laugh. Y'all,
it
she
was
is crazy.
Giraffe, y'all. My neck was giving giraffe. I'm not saying I'm slim right now, but I'm a big girl.
No, but you been. So, I ain't gonna hold you. It's like big stallion fine. Hey, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to be skinny. Like, my goal right now is like build muscle, continue to shed fat, right?
Yeah.
But your waist, I've been noticing. I don't know. We could let the audience, but yeah, they'll say it at the live. They say at the live show. They said the live show. Yeah, the waist is coming in.
Oh yeah, it is. It's doing its thing, and I'm not complaining. I ain't complaining at all. If you need me, my number is.
Listen, I ain't gonna say. I ain't gonna say. I was about to say an insider, but it's okay. I'm just gonna say it.
You better stop it. You don't do me like that, because I'm not gonna be able to stop laughing.
Anywho, I think so. We done really gave them enough juice, bro.
Okay, I'm sorry, y'all. That was a little insider. I had to bring it back. Okay.
Yeah, I think that third season, whatever we talking about, they not ready. I think we're actually gonna have like a tequila, all that. But anywho.
Okay.
So we gave them enough juice.
Yeah.
Enough little sauce, a little razzle dazzle for what's coming.
For sure.
So I think what we should do, we should pull a rule out the jar.
Okay.
And I think we need to see what it says.
Okay.
Let's see.
Rule
of the day. Oh, this is a long piece of sheets.
I'm telling you.
Okay, so the rule of the day is there are no rules when you're the blueprint.
Ooh.
Let me say that one more time. There are no rules when you're the blueprint.
So who going first? Who taking us there first?
So I'm gonna say this. Me and my brother got into it the other day because I told him, I said, I need him to communicate with me. I know he going through his stuff. He don't really like to communicate. And then he looked at me and he said, I think your problem is you think you bigger than the program.
Ooh.
I said, excuse me. First of all, he's 19. So I looked at him. I said, he's 6'3" now. You know,
So you was like, what?
He think he, you know, cause he 19 and he play basketball, he tall and fine to these other folks.
Yeah.
He think I ain't big sis. I say, what you mean? I'm bigger than the program. I am the program.
I know that's right.
I was here before you was. Number one.
Uh-huh.
I say number two, I'm always gonna give you advice from the heart.
Right.
He doesn't like how I step in as a sister / mom and tell him, hey, this is what I think you should do based off of whatever. Yeah. So that's when he be like, I don't really like how you, but when you are the blueprint, yes, you are bigger than the program. Because you got to know that. You got to know that within yourself. And confidence is something that I lacked for a long time because I feel like I used to shed my light to make other people comfortable.
Yeah.
I didn't want to step on nobody's toes.
Yep.
I didn't want nobody to feel uncomfortable around me. Yep. So I used to dim my light, but I realized I cannot control something that's internal.
Yep.
Oof. So the blueprint is very already, it was a spiritual contract written. Right. That blueprint was written in the spiritual realm a long time ago. I'm just here to fulfill that purpose.
Absolutely.
That's the blueprint for me.
Yeah. Same here. Like I was stating earlier, God gave me the blueprint. You know what I'm saying? Like it came straight from God, so it is the blueprint. And saying that there are no rules when you are the blueprint, that's just what I said earlier.
Yep.
When God delivers you a vision, he's going to tell you and give you everything that you need to bring that vision to life. So no, you're not going to go find it anywhere else because he laid that out. And I could give you an example. With Community Cultivation Network, we're a media network and we're a studio. There are hundreds of thousands of media networks and studios. However, we are different because of how we choose to approach media. And we're coming with a community heart.
I like that.
Community first. And we're here to actually tell the story and bring out who you are as a person.
I like
that. We're not here to tell stories that's going to make us rich.
Right. No.
Everybody else is doing that.
No.
Cool. But the thing in doing that is this has been the hardest thing I've ever had to do.
Wow.
Because there's no blueprint. There's no one else doing it this specific way. Not to say there's not other media networks that serve community. I'm not saying that. I'm saying the vision that God gave me does not currently exist.
Does not currently exist, right.
And like you said, in the beginning, I would feel some type of way. I'd be feeling frustrated. I would like kind of like dim my light because I just didn't feel like everyone understood what God was having me to do. And then in July 2 years ago, I went to London and I was going through so much stuff. And I'm out there, I'm on the water, I'm on this boat, it's just me. And I'm like, man, how do I get back realigned with the vision? I felt like I had kind of shifted away from the vision. God recentered me and said, the reason why things aren't going the way that you want them to go is because you are not showing who you are. You steady dimming your light. You steady giving half the story. You don't want people to know that you was a teenage mom. You don't want people to know that you was married and divorced. You don't want people to know that life just hasn't been perfect for you because I show up in Romans very confident. I show up because I know who I am in God. So I have a level of confidence, but don't get it twisted. I'm not perfect and things have not always been perfect for me. But that blueprint, what God gave me, that vision, there are no rules.
There are no rules,
and it doesn't currently exist, and I'm okay with that. When you need to like realign, I just tap back into God. I don't go looking for, oh, what is so and so doing over here? What Johnny got going on at that studio?
Yeah, no.
I'm talking to God. What else we need to do here at this studio?
That part. And I just said that the other day. I said I am co-partnering with God this season. Because last time I was trying to do everything on my own, and so God told me to surrender, and I didn't want to surrender. So I went through my season of depression because I did not surrender. So my rules that I don't follow society rules. I follow God rules because if God gives me a thought process or a plan to do, I follow it. That's why I always say I'm multidimensional. What I'm doing this season, I might not do next season. I have multiple purposes. You know what I'm saying? It's all tying back to the same thing of leadership and legacy. Taking care of family, building with family, and doing what we can to continue to be set free from what the shackles that have been attached to us generations down the line.
For sure.
So, I just think that's just what it is. But I'm excited to see what we're going to talk about for the faith episode.
Yes, I'm so excited. Next episode, we are going to talk about faith. And listen, y'all, I am who I am. God
Hey,
know me.
I am who I am.
Okay, I am who I am. Me and God have a relationship. We talk like I talk to him more than anybody.
Yes.
Me and him, we can sit. I sit right here like, God, what's up? You know.
Period.
But to be able to talk about faith, the importance of faith, and what that really looks like, because faith, I feel, is a word that everybody throws around.
Yep.
But faith isn't. Faith is action. And faith is the foundation of like what fuels your focus when there's something that you see that nobody else sees.
That part. Oh,
So,
I can't wait to
listen,
talk
baby,
about it.
I can't wait either. Y'all better stay tuned.
Well, let's toast to a good episode today and being able to introduce the unwritten rules this season.
Yes, but before we toast, what is one thing that you want what is one thing that you want to see happen this season with our guests, with our audience, I mean?
Transformation.
Yeah.
I want to see transformation within our audience and our guests, and I also want them to send questions, if we may, so that way we can hear what everybody else's unwritten rule is, because everybody have their own story, everybody going through their own journey, and I'm a student first, and I love to sit down and continue to learn from other people's perspectives and journeys and experiences, and just grow from there. So I hope that we can get transformation through this podcast, and I also hope that we can pull people in and say, you have a voice here too.
Yep, and that's my one wish. I hope that our audience and our supporters feel a part of the show. This is for us. This is not just for me and you. We could do this any day.
Right.
But to sit and bring it to a platform is to include y'all that, hey, this is a community that we want to build, and everything that we talk about, we want to include y'all in. So yes, send in your unwritten rules. Send in your stories. Don't be embarrassed. I just told y'all about my eyes, so we family now. Dog, what? Dog, hey, listen. That's what it is. So, toast to a good season, people.
Oh, cheers.